Yasmin, lovely to have you as today's coach in the spotlight. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me today.
Oh, it was so nice to know that you were going to be our coach in the spotlight because we haven't spoken for ages. You did
True.
our kids' life coach training when? I can't recall, 2 years ago?
Something like that. Yeah.
2022,
Yes.
and we haven't
Yes.
spoken for a while, so it's really lovely to have you here today to find out some
Thank
news as to what's been happening, because I know you've been a very busy lady. So tell us, what have you been up to? Your coaching practice is called Blossoming Kindness, and I know that that's something that you have always done. You've been spreading the seeds of kindness. So what have you been doing?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So since the graduation from the academy has been a fantastic journey with its ups and downs, like everything else in life.
Of course.
I mean, yeah, I had my private coaching business set up, and it's all under the same umbrella of Blossoming Kindness, which is a book, a children's book, a school program, activities, a blog for parents to get some information on where to do kindness. This is how it started, but now the blog is developing into a bigger community, giving tips as well for parents. So the
Amazing.
whole idea is, it's raising the consciousness of the community as a whole. It's not just about individuals or this is what I do. I'm just learning as I go along, but I want to give back to, parents. I want to be able to have a positive impact on children as well through the one-on-one coaching and also the workshops. And that has been the dream. So it's just putting
Yes.
everything together under the same umbrella.
And you making it happen. I know when we met and we had our initial conversation, you were a very accomplished lady already. And you've mentioned you're an author, you had an organization, you were doing great work, but you just extended that into children and families and parents on a much larger level. So you're currently practicing in Dubai, but a little
Yes.
birdie tells me that you're going to be relocating. Tell us
Absolutely,
about
yes.
that.
Yeah, very exciting times. I mean, it's a big shift. I've been living in the UAE for 16 years, and right now the move is to Egypt, which has always been home for me.
Oh,
So I'm still gonna keep my practice in Dubai, and I'm gonna be flying in and out since it's like 3 hours and a half away.
right.
So that's the plan. So yeah,
Amazing. So there's really exciting things on the horizon. It must feel so good to say that you're going home, right?
yes, yes,
And the thing is about coaching young people, I think when you have a worldview like that, and you're an expat as well of Dubai, flying in and being able to relate to other people who may feel like you not being home, that's a
yes.
huge asset as well. Do you find that in your coaching clients?
I do, but living in Dubai, there's a huge diversity of nationalities,
Yes.
right? So it's like we're all more or less expats, and you deal with local people who are amazing, but they're very few, right? That you deal with. So I've always like the dream has always been I want to go back home and open something again that has to do with children, impactful, and be able to give back as well at the same time. So it's not only about coaching, but what else can I do for for the kids who doesn't have the privileges as well.
Correct. And that's
Yeah.
one of the things in our kids life coach training. We support you in setting up an income earning practice as a kids life coach. But one of the things we all do around the world is give back to our communities. And that's what makes it so special. We're a group of collaborators. But now, when you did your training, you met a whole lot of people. Are you still in contact with any of them?
I am, and I think this is one of the best assets about the course is that you get to
Really?
meet people. I mean, the first thing that I really, really, truly found amazing was pairing people up. So that was like from
Study
another country,
buddies.
a random study buddy. Yeah, yeah,
Yes, yes.
that was awesome, and that was actually very helpful emotionally. And the second thing, actually, the calls every week, the two calls. Again, I found those very
Yes.
beneficial in the sense that I have now like very good friends from the course, and
Oh,
some of them I collaborated with in Dubai as well for workshops. So that's no, that's the community that you built by
we should
just.
get you all on one call.
I
Do a
know
group
it should be
spotlight.
exciting. Yeah, yeah,
That'd be wonderful.
yeah.
No, that's the thing that really excites me. I've been doing this training for many years, but you can't attach a price tag to the relationships that you make. Look, the training gives you what you need. It does what it says on the box, right? You're certified, you can coach children, use our program, but it's those beautiful relationships. And we currently have people in 45 countries. So those relationships are priceless, right? And I'm so glad you said that, because to me, that's also the most special thing about the work that we do.
Amazing, good to hear.
So you run group workshops as well for children and for parents as well? Are they included? Tell us a bit about your workshops.
Yes, okay. So no, they're mainly children's focused. I tried doing for parents, but somehow I feel like it's a very different, route um, in comparison. And I feel like the parents need someone who's fully attentive and has the information. And do you know what it's like? It's like peeling an onion with the parents, right? It's just layers and layers and layers. But with
When you
children,
peel an onion, there's lots of tears too.
yeah, exactly. And I'm not, when I'm looking at that business, I'm happy to give like tips and advice on the website and the blog and maybe some on the social media as well, which I'm trying to also, avoid doing because I'm not a parents coach. I feel like I'm certified to be a children's coach, and this moment in time where I am in life, I actually want to play. I want to play with the kids. I want to be able to, yeah, exactly, teach them the skills playfully with experiments and all of that, instead of spreading my wings. And I don't know, I just feel like when I focus, I like focusing on, like, I don't want to get scattered in my mind as well.
That makes me so happy, because in our training, that's one of the things I always say: you're not a parent coach, stay in your lane, you're a kids coach. And so to hear that you're staying in your lane and you're staying true to your vision, because I know that you feel so strongly about this, and you can't be a master of all, you have to niche down. So speaking of that, we know that your niche is children and that you love to play. And of course, our play-based coaching program plays into that, which is wonderful. We get to have lots of fun in our coaching sessions. But do you have a niche that you in particular love to work with?
Yes, it's the social emotional learning aspect of things. So I've taken a few courses as well, one with UNESCO, and I took like a mindfulness course as well, because I'm trying to incorporate the different elements and make them all work for the child. So social emotional learning mainly.
Yeah, and also you obviously tailor make your outcomes, especially. Are you doing individual coaching as well? One
I
to
do. Yes, I do. I mean, it's slowing down now because it's the end of the school year as well.
yeah.
And somehow I manifested it because obviously we're leaving in a few weeks, not few, yeah, several weeks. And, so it's better for me that way. But the workshops are bi-monthly, sorry. And again, different topics. So I have this venue in Dubai. Can I mention the name or?
Of
Yeah.
course you can.
Okay. All right. So yeah, it's Kiani Wellness Center. So I practice under them. So I have my own company set up, but I took space in their not offices, in their wellness, beautiful place. And I practice from there. So I do every Sunday at 11 a.m. A workshop for children, and it keeps on changing the topic and the ages, and it really depends on what we're doing, what's the need, and what worked best in the past, and then we repeat it or not the following term. So yes.
I feel like I want to be a child to attend your workshops. So how long are they? How long are the
It's
workshops?
1 hour. Do you know,
Oh, that's
I feel
perfect.
like 1 hour is more than enough for a
Yes,
young child
yeah,
to sit down. And it's not even sitting down, because I make sure that there are no desks, no chairs. So
yeah.
there's always mind and body breaks. There's always like a water rice experiment, Masaru Emoto, or something exciting that they haven't heard about, or movement or things like that. Like more interactive.
Yes, no, that's lovely. And then tell me the age group that you have in those workshops. What is your target age?
So I used to focus on 8 to 12, but now I started doing 7 to 12. And it really, we play it by ear every time. It depends, because some parents will say, oh, my child is 6.5, or my child has ADHD, can I bring him? And then, so we take it case by case. We estimate there's another sibling, if somebody will stay behind with the child. So we're very flexible with how we approach all of these things. But right now, I mean, I had a child last Sunday saying, "Oh, that's my 10th workshop with you, Miss Yasmin." And I'm like, "10th? Are you sure?" And he's like, "I was like, did I make 10? And you actually attended." So they're actually repetitive clients, and this is why I can sometimes repeat the activities as well. That has to be very, very creative.
So you're fresh and dynamic, and that's what being a play-based coach is. It's about coming up with ideas, and that's what our community does as well. You know, we get together and we share ideas, we bring our resources into our sessions, and we share. So yeah, it's about keeping fresh and up to date. But one thing I do love is that, because I've been coaching children for over 2 decades, is that the children often teach me new things as well. They'll bring like a new toy or a new game that they play, and they'll teach me, and I'll go, "Oh, that's a great idea for coaching sessions." Have you found that?
Yeah, I mean, not with toys, to be honest with you. They don't bring toys, but I think they bring, they come in with their energy and their, their personalities, and you do learn, of course, as you go along from each child, So, but my kids, I mean, go ahead, please.
No, you go ahead.
No, I'm saying, but through my kids, I mean, they're teens now. They're 12 and 14, so not much toys, but more of like general knowledge, or like.
But also you've been through it as a mum, so it has given you a really good grounding. But
oh my God, I couldn't have done it without them. Yeah.
Oh, now tell me, so when you have young people come to your individual coaching, your group coaching, you said that you do like a screening and an assessment to see what the fit is like. Tell us a bit more about how you do that. How do you screen your clients?
I mean, again, it depends on where I get the inquiry from. I try not to, I mean, obviously, most of them are not relatives or not friends. They're mostly from outside through social media mainly, and word of mouth. So believe me when I say that the case studies that I've done at the beginning, the 2 case studies,
it's for your certification.
Yeah, exactly. They keep on sending me clients.
When you do good work and got measurable outcome, because you did a pre-assessment and a post-assessment for your case. So you could measure and track those results.
Absolutely.
When you do good work and you have a recipe that gets results, of course you're going to get referrals.
Yeah, so yes, I mean, it's the discovery call, 30 minutes, it's the assessment. I mean, I try to get as much as I can, and if I feel like I'm unable to help the child for any reason, or the parents, I'm very honest from the beginning. And before even signing any contracts or anything, like meeting the child and the parents, and I can actually assess. So obviously I use my gut feeling, but I also use the the assessment and the questions to see if I can help the child or not. And in a couple of cases, I was able to get for example, a speech therapist on board, work with the school counselor and the teacher and the mom, just as a collaboration, because I don't think on my own I would have done it. I'm not capable, and honestly, like you said, it's not where my expertise is.
Yeah, and you don't have to work alone. And I mean, so did you find that part of our Kids Life Coach training useful, where you set up a list of people you could refer to, because you had to research?
But it keeps on changing. I mean, it's very, very helpful, but it keeps on changing because obviously expat life, right? There's a high turnover.
Oh, yes, I didn't think of that. So you could really have your finger on the pulse.
Yeah. And also, and I think even through my kids, I mean, my kids, they do therapy. So I know someone abroad, like obviously in Egypt, and when we go and visit, but she does online. But again, if the client is Arabic speaking and they would like to have that for their child, so I would recommend her. So it's actually based also on my experience and my previous clients with the speech therapist, and you know what I mean? So now I know, and she's actually in Spain. So now I know where to go and ask around.
Yeah, you know what I always say, and you've heard me say this before, is that a kid's life coach is like the glue that sticks everybody together. You're the person in the know, and I love the fact that you use intuition along with knowledge and facts. Those 2 together are an unbeatable combination. And so you're using that wisdom that comes from your experience to give your clients the best. And I think it's very irresponsible, and sometimes coaches who are new, they're novices, are so enthusiastic that they want to help, that they slip into a lane that isn't theirs to begin with, and they're too scared to refer on. And so I love the
Yeah.
fact that you refer on and you working
Yeah.
collaboratively with other team members as a, you know, and that's what's best for the child. At the end of the
Yes.
day, we don't do therapy, we do coaching. And sometimes there is a need for therapy for a child. Sometimes they need that additional layer of support. So I love hearing that that's what you're doing for your clients. So tell me, you moving to Egypt, you're going to be flying back to Dubai like a jet setter. You're going to be doing the
I'm
workshop.
not. I think I want to settle in first. I mean, I already can envision where I'm going to do workshops and coach kids in Egypt as well. But because I'm going to still keep my business open here, and I'm going to be still practicing under Kiani. So I was thinking that, if we can like set up some kind of specific dates where I can just fly in, do maybe
Yes.
2 workshops, it would be because obviously every time I tell a client, oh, because I'm traveling, they're like, what? No. And it's sad news for them. But I feel like, okay, I established that foundation, so I feel like, you know what, it can carry on. So I don't want to close any doors, to be honest with you.
But
So I want.
also, what I love is that because you coach young people to take good care of themselves, I know that you will take good care of yourself. So you're not going to burn out, right?
Yeah,
Tell us
exactly,
a bit
exactly.
about that, because
Yeah.
I know when you become successful as a kids life coach, because you're doing such great work, it can get really busy. Has that happened to you?
Oh yeah, it did, and it does take a toll on your health as well. And you just have to, listen to your body and say, okay, you know what, maybe this is not working. What can I do to help myself? So yeah, I've been there.
It's about
Yeah,
practicing the principles that we coach kids to do. And I've been
exactly.
there too. I mean, really,
Hmm.
we do tend to push ourselves hard. So this is just me like whispering in your ear to remember that when
Yeah.
you expand your practice is to keep on being true to yourself as a coach. Because at the end of the day, if we don't put our oxygen mask on, we simply
Yes.
can't do that for young people. But you know this already anyway, don't you?
Exactly. Yeah, but it's like you said, it's practicing, right? Like even
Yeah.
looking after my mental health, it does need work, right? It doesn't come to me as if it's a natural thing, right? Like it's like, oh, okay, I didn't even realize that I was stressing about this, but obviously my body was, and it was just giving me all those nudges to tell me, hey,
Correct. And
just
the
slow
signals.
down a bit. Yeah.
And sometimes we have to just dial things down ever so slightly. And that doesn't mean compromising on the number of clients. It means we're able to give better quality to our clients. And
Yes.
that's the beauty of it. So what is your big vision? Tell us about your big picture. I mean, you've got Blossoming Kindness, you've got your book. What's your big
Yeah.
vision for kids?
So, I mean, on the long run, my big vision, whatever, I'm like the thing that I've been dreaming about the most is to create this kind of platform where children who are unable to get education in villages, and again, I'm talking about Egypt, to get
A
the
lot of work
education
there.
plus, yeah, plus life skills. So it's about connecting them with volunteers abroad to give them a language, give them a skill, and then we, like obviously people on the ground, to teach them life skills to make them strive in life. So that's, the future like plan. Yes,
Let me know if I
exactly.
can help you with
Yeah,
anything.
yeah, I
That's
will.
very
I will.
exciting because we have
Yeah.
quite a few people in Egypt actually. Um, we've got one young coach that works there, but we also have somebody in Dubai. I'm not going to mention any names because you might know
Yeah,
each
yeah.
other. She might even be part of your network, but I think she also travels in between. And that's the beauty of the work that we do. I think this vision that you have to reach marginalized children and children who really fall between the gaps very often,
Yes.
the lack of resources. I think that
Mm.
is such a beautiful vision, but it's one that we share and it's one that we all have in common. So I just want to say thank you for your amazing work that you do
Thank
and
you so
for this
much.
beautiful vision and this wonderful energy that you're bringing to
Thank
this
you.
industry. And kids life coaching is not a new field. I mean, I've been coaching for 20 years, but it has become more popular, and it's important that people like you uphold that flag and show people good quality coaching, which is what you were doing it before you did our training
Mm.
anyway in your practice, and now you've just enhanced that even further. So yeah, any
Thank
last
you.
words for children? What's your advice you would give to families?
I think just be flexible. Flexibility is very, very important. I feel like when we get fixated on how to do things or when or the whys, I think this is when we lose track. So I think be flexible, keep on learning along the way. Just be flexible with yourself, you know?
So that's almost linked to Carol Dweck's growth mindset.
Which
Yes.
is,
So when you have a growth mindset, it means that you're flexible to
yeah,
learn and you're willing to
yeah.
look at your mistakes. You're willing to look at challenges as opportunities.
Mm,
When you have a fixed mindset, it's when you
yes,
don't really have that flex and you want to stay in your
yes,
ways and you're very
yes.
hard on yourself. So I love that. I love that you want young people to be flexible and grow. And also
Mm,
in this day and age with so many opportunities, there's an opportunity to learn from, yes, I don't want to say it, but from technology in a
yeah.
responsible way.
Yeah.
And it is about having that flexibility. But I want to say thank you for sharing your time with me today,
Of course.
Yasmin.
Thank you for having me.
How can people find you?
On social media, I have a website. So if they just Google up Blossoming Kindness, that's
Awesome.
it. That's the only Blossoming Kindness out there.
I'll also on the video, I'll post the link to the Kids Life Studio website.
Amazing.
We
Yeah.
have a listing there as well. So I think your social media links are there on the Kids Life Studio
Yes.
website.
Yes.
Beautiful. Oh
Thank
my
you so
goodness.
much.
I'm going to be watching with bated breath. Let me know how it goes in Egypt.
All
And it's
right.
been
We
really
will.
lovely speaking with you.
You too. Thank you so much for having me.